Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I've got a price crash warning about XLM and XRP. This comes from a good friend of mine. He is really an amazing technical analysis. I don't even know what to say. I mean, let's just start here. First off, this is who we're dealing with. Jay Bravo called me the other day with a warning because he thought that I was buying more XRP, and I'm not. A lot of people get upset with that, but I've said until we get closer to the point where they stop diluting the market cap, I'm not going to be a buyer of XRP. When he says, well, good, because there's a crash coming in the market, and he showed me this chart. And I wanted to bring it to you. First, I want to say, this isn't me saying you should go sell your XRP. I sold a bunch of mine, and I moved it into other projects that are newer, like React. React is doing amazing. The wallet count's growing. People are buying it. There's projects adopting it, moving it right now. That's like a newer product, right? A new project that solves a real world problem. XRP also solves a real world problem, but it's in that cycle where it's sort of stuck. And he says the price crash percentage is actually pretty significant. You're going to see in a second. But that's why I move in and out of certain projects. Now, here's the fact. I think this is going to be an amazing buying opportunity. And this isn't a crash that's going to happen tomorrow, but there are a ton of prophecies that have come out in the last year or so. Type one if you've heard a prophecy of like this flash crash in XLM or XRP. I just want to make sure that I'm not the only one that's seen those videos. There are a lot of people that have had dreams and that kind of stuff, right? And I do heed the warnings of prophets, right? Do I take everything they say for verbatim? Absolutely not. So I think that long term, XRP is going to be an absolute monster. It's going to be huge. It's going to be worth a lot of money. And I think it's an amazing opportunity to buy little bits, dollar cost average, or wait for the bigger cycles. And I'll remind everyone, if you're ever thinking about investing in XRP or Bitcoin or any crypto blockchain project, I'll put a stupid sale link to both courses. The Bitcoin XRP 101 course teaches you all the basics of everything blockchain, how to buy it, how to sell it, how to store it, how to secure it. And then the security course too. I'm going to put them both together for a stupid low price, links down below. All right. So here's his video. And just so you know, he was actually serious when he called me, but the second he gets on camera, oh my gosh, the guy's a ham. But he's one of my best friends and I love him to death. And that's cool. So let's listen to this and we're going to talk about this. And I'm just curious, just throwing this out there. Looks like there's a lot of people picking up React, right? Again, with anything, don't let it pump the price. Don't buy it at pump. If it's up 15% a day, understand this is a micro cap. Don't chase a pump. But I will say this. I believe personally with my technical analysis background and other traders as well, once it passes and closes over that 14 to 15 cent range, it's in price discovery mode. And I think it is going to be a really interesting story. Okay. So here we go. Link. Real quick. If you think that XRP is going to head lower from here, do me a favor. Type yes or no. I'm curious to see what you say while we play this video from Bravo. This is Jay Bravo on YouTube.
Sitting here naked in my jail cell, Ninja, and a screen pops down and it says XRP Army. So I said, speak to me, screen. And it said, you're in a triangle. You're going to break. You've already confirmed you're going to go lower. And then I said, okay, magic mirror on the wall. Tell me the price of the fall. It said $1.99. There's your XRP. Also, if you are trading XLM, carry that blue line down here. You got to just add a confirmation. Your XLM price will be 20 cents. So my XRP army, it's time to hunker down for 364 days. It's called a bear market that happens every single cycle. You actually have a 1,064 days bull market, followed by a 364 bear, followed by a 164 bull. What comes next? 364, followed by 164. So here we go. But there is my frightening news that I wanted to pass on to you, Mr. Ninja, and your audience. I'm going to head back to my metal bed. There's been some action back here. We'll talk about that later.
All right. So Bravo is calling for a bear market now in all of cryptos, but he's specifically highlighting XRP because of the percentage loss that he's expecting. All right. In all reality, my first Ethereum I purchased was $50 and I still have a bunch of it. And Type 2 if you think it doesn't really matter about price swings when you get in early. It really doesn't matter. I will say that these ups and lows over the long term with these larger projects, it's going to be laughable later on. But most people, they really care about what's next, what's happening tomorrow, because a lot of people FOMO in and they put everything that they shouldn't be putting into these projects, and then they panic and make bad decisions. And that's not what I want to see. You know, let me go back to React, the reactive network. You know, when I talk about it, people push in and the price rises a little bit, right? I highly suggest people, you know, when it pumps over 10%, don't buy it. I mean, it's a $40 million market cap right now. It's super small anyway. But when it comes back down, you just you buy on these little dips after the euphoria is done. Now, once it closes over 15, it's going to be game on. And when I'm looking, saying closing over 15 cents, I'm talking about a few days of closing over 15 cents, not just one spike candle, 5 p.m. Pacific, it closes over and then it's game on. You want to wait for a few days of confirmation on the charts before you go, hey, we're looking, we're moving. And I will be honest with you, just like XRP, what I'm seeing with React, the XRP movement has been amazing, right? The people that own XRP, do me a favor. How many people type XRP and then a 1 behind it if you agree the XRP army is pretty impressive as far as, you know, bull posting and all that kind of stuff. The problem is, and I think it's amazing actually. The problem is that can turn some people into maximalists, and when you're a maximalist, you close your mind off to other projects that are brand new and that have solved real world problems. And like I've said before, I bought XRP when it was a $300 million worldwide market cap. $300 million worldwide market cap. And I was mocked for buying that, told it was a crap coin, all this stuff. And ultimately, I made a ton of money off of it because it was a newer project solving a world problem. And that's why I'm constantly looking for the next exact project that's solving problems that's new, because the adoption curve, as it ramps up, you make exponential gains. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys and it's not offending anyone. But if it does, well, then maybe you should look yourself in the mirror and find out, are you winning in this game or are you losing? Because I've been doing this for a long time. And I really do mean that I think everybody in the world should have a little bit of XRP. And if you don't know how to buy it, the link's down below for 2 courses that'll blow your mind. It will be the best money you've ever spent because it will save you a ton of heartache, time, and money. But I think everybody should be, especially you got young kids or you got grandkids, to put a little bit away into a cold wallet and store it. And then to be able to hand that down to a future generation. Yeah, they're going to be crushing it. All right. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.